Okay, folks, so here's the thing. I wasn't really big into Sabrina Carpenter until last year when I believe I was in the post office and I heard a song, playing on the speakers, and I thought it was like another Taylor Swift song. I didn't know what it was. I just recall something like you know when you try to Google a song or you're on YouTube and it's like, I don't know the title, but I'll try to type in the lyrics or something like that to get as close as I can get to it. And I just remember like, I'm working late because I'm a singer. That's it. That's all I remember. But it's just like the music, the instrumental behind it that caught my attention. It was like an earworm. Now, when I found out, wait, Sabrina Carpenter, who is this? And then I saw her face. I'm like, oh, that's that Disney girl. Like I was in college when Girl Meets World came out, so I was older than the target demographic. Never watched the series aside from a handful of episodes when some of the original characters would come back, like Mr. Feeney or Corey's parents. Yeah, his whole family showed up during the Thanksgiving episode when Eric came back, when um a few other kids. Yeah, it was like, and when Angela showed up, or Jack. Yeah, so I'd say about half a dozen episodes total I watched. So I remember watching the pilot and thinking, oh, this chick is supposed to be the female Sean of the series. And that's it. I never really looked back. So when I found out, okay, Espresso, I remember when Short and Sweet dropped and I listened to the album and I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't one I played back a lot. I'd say there are about 4 songs total that I truly enjoyed. Espresso, my favorite, but Good Graces, man, that's the second most played track from the album for me personally. And overall, it lived up to its name, Short and Sweet. A short body of work, but it tasted sweet by the time you finish it. Something like it's not like something I drank constantly, but I'd sip it every now and then if I wanted a good little short and sweet taste. I know you're tired of the puns and I'm almost 3 minutes into this video, but just so you know, like, I haven't listened to any of Sabrina's prior work pre Short and Sweet. I mean, I was shocked when I learned she's been in the music game for a while now. In terms of her starting, through the Disney record label, Hollywood Records, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's like almost every single Disney Channel cast member typically gets put on the path to be a musical artist, and some make it much further than others. But eventually she went to a different label, put out other albums, and in terms of who she was, I do recall her getting pushed back because she filmed a music video for one of her songs at like in a church or cathedral or something like that, and that got a lot of people talking. But yeah, Espresso was like the first song where I'm like, okay, this girl can sing. And then Manchild came out a couple months ago, and I was like, you know what? Espresso is definitely that song that's going to be a hit every single summer. Like Taylor Swift has like Cruel Summer. Miley Cyrus has Party in the USA for the 4th of July. But Espresso, that's that song you definitely want to listen to while you're at the beach or something. Manchild definitely seems to be one of those songs, like, it's the perfect road trip song. Like, if you're going somewhere, this is a good tune to listen to while you're trying to get to your destination. Now, then we have the release of Man's Best Friend, which came out on my birthday, August 29th. And I remember when it was announced, I'm like, okay, so maybe this would be a nice little birthday gift to myself. Like, I'll stream it when it's available on the 29th and see what I think. Now, similar to Short and Sweet, it wasn't that long, about 38 minutes long. And I said, okay, let's see what we got, because the album cover is what got a lot of people talking, where Sabrina's on her knees and there's a man grabbing her by the hair, and it's like, oh no, this is objectifying women and whatnot. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm 34. Well, I was 33 when this cover came out. And I was thinking to myself, of all the different things we've seen female artists do, both black and white, you know, artists with their behinds just hanging out, coming out on stage with barely any, with less clothing covering their body than a napkin or paper towel would. And Sabrina simply on her knees, and it's like it was giving like a Madonna kind of thing. And she's fully clothed. And I'm thinking, this is what has people up in arms? It's just like when Crackle Barrel was going to change their logo, and I'm like, people just get mad over the dumbest things now. But yeah, I said, okay, let's see what this album's going to be about. And you have people debating, oh, well, it's about, you know, women empowerment and taking our power back from men and yada, yada, yada. So the album came out. 12 songs with one bonus track. And I got to say, this didn't do it for me. And for a few reasons. So, like I said before, take what I have to say with a grain of salt. I'm not like a Sabrina Carpenter aficionado who can like belt off her entire discography and rank this album amongst her other work. I can't do that. I can't sit up here and act like this album is a repeat or lesser than her other albums. But I will say that after I listened to it, and after listening to, you know, big musical platforms on basically YouTube channels or whoever that have a huge following that do album retrospectives and whatnot, I can confidently say, wow, at least I'm not alone in how I took this album. Now, when you look at this album's release, and I get it, we live in a day and age where gone are the days where an artist could take their time, craft a solid body of work, put out the album. Well, actually, drop a few singles, put out the album, go on tour, all the while release more singles and music videos. And if the album is strong enough, they can milk that thing for like 2-3 years, give or take, before the next album. Music isn't like that anymore. TikTok, attention spans, all those things. People are looking for the next hot single rather than the next solid album. But I will say this much. When Manchild came out, fans were like, wait, it's like, I get it. The era was called short and sweet, but is Sabrina moving a bit too quickly? And it kind of felt like this album, in a word, was rushed. Did we really need another Carpenter album this soon? I mean, we know Taylor Swift, I believe, is dropping her new album next month, The Life of a Showgirl or something. I don't know. Did Sabrina and her team want to get this album out ahead of that or what? But I just feel like this album, it could have waited until like 2026, because during the short and sweet tour, like I said, I never went out of my way to look at Sabrina's stuff, if you will, listen to other albums or go to tour or anything, but I saw a lot of reels. And aside from music, Sabrina has been just in the headlines for, you know, parents, mainly mothers, are upset by Sabrina's sexual behavior on stage and whatnot. But the thing is, like, this young woman is no longer the Disney girl that you know her for. She is a woman. I get it. When you're like a child star, it's hard to like evolve into that next stage of adulthood because people look at you differently or they expect you to be that cutesy little girl forever. But that's clearly not the role Sabrina is playing. And actually, give me one moment. I'm going to try to look up her age. If I had to guess, I'd say, okay, so I was in college. She Disney Channel, mid 20s. What? 26? Yeah, 26. And she's not that same tween from back in the day, because that was like what, 2014 when she was she was like what, 15 give or take when she was in Girl Meets World. But the thing is, she would always do like these sexual innuendos, or I forgot the song because I saw this clip like every time she did a different show. She would end the song with like a different, like a sexual pose or allusion or something. Basically, she was a bit of a caricature, if you will, where more of Sabrina's notoriety came from her stage presence rather than her performances. And that's not to say she's not good. Obviously, she is good. I believe that reception for this album is genuinely positive, but there are those who feel like I do, feeling like the songs lack depth. Because the reason I like Short and Sweet, not just a few songs, but an album as a whole, is the fact that, okay, it's like she made allusions to this or that, where, you could have a catchy song like Espresso, and then you can have a song that's a bit more fast paced like Good Graces. Then you can have a couple of slow tracks, and then a song where it's like, she's like teetering on the edge of Dirty, but then she pulls it back. But with this album, Man's Best Friend, it felt like every single song. It didn't feel, you know what it gave me? Taylor Swift's Tortured Poets Department. I know that's like, wait, why are you comparing the two? When I listened to that last year for the first time, I'm like, this just felt like one long song that didn't really change the tone or mood. It was like dreary the entire time. With this particular album for Sabrina, it just felt like, okay, so it's almost like Sabrina has a certain type of man she likes, but she likes messing around with the wrong men. I mean, the titles of the songs kind of say everything I'm trying to, describe. Man Child, Tears, My Man on Willpower, We Almost Broke Up Again Last Night, Never Getting Laid, Don't Worry, I'll Make You Worry, House Tour, Goodbye. It's like every song just kind of said the same thing. I don't really know what to take away from this album. That's the best way for me to describe it. It just felt like, if nothing else, this felt like just throwaway tracks. Like if Sabrina put out like a deluxe double disc edition of Short and Sweet, these would be on disc 2 as opposed to being the main body of work. It just felt like these were throwaway tracks that were rushed out yet again to keep Sabrina's name relevant. But to be honest, I think like Short and Sweet, she could have stretched it out just a little bit longer, take a bit of a hiatus, and dropped a couple songs. Like, I like Man Child as a song. Listening to the lyrics are a bit confusing because it's like she talks about the men she likes, but at the same time doesn't want to be bothered by those men. Maybe I'm missing the message, but it is a catchy song, and the music video is just 100% chaotic, and you can't help but rewatch it over and over again, catching little things you missed the first time. But yeah, Man's Best Friend, I don't know. Men are dogs? I don't know. Maybe there's a Sabrina fan listening to this video that can give me more insight. It's just, for me, this album just feels like a one and done in terms of me listening to it. Like, aside from Man Child, maybe Tears, and like another song, I don't think I'm really coming back to this. I just feel like Sabrina's leaning a bit too much into this sexual figure she's becoming known for, and that's only going to last for so long. Basically, you're letting your sexual popularity override your talent, and once the looks start to fade at some point, what's left? That's the best way to put it. I mean, I ain't gonna hold you, this did and I love how some critics pointed out, a mix of Dolly Parton and some Donna Summer. Yeah, there were some beats on this album that I definitely love the instrumental for, but in terms of the body of work, it doesn't do it for me. I think like this needed a bit more time to cook in the oven. This didn't need to be rushed. It just feels like a rushed project. I mean, like I said, should have definitely waited until 2026, come up with some stronger material, because nothing really stood out in terms of what could be a hit single. But then again, I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not the target audience, but I think that one person on Twitter said this album pretty much proved that if Sabrina wasn't a success musically, she would be doing OnlyFans or something, because a lot of the lyrics and whatnot really hammered home the sexual tone, and it just, there's only so much of that you could take before it's like, okay, we get it, we get it, we get it. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you listened to the album, what did you think of it? What were some of your favorite tracks? How does this compare to Sabrina's other body of work? There are those who say like, hey, I'm a diehard Sabrina fan, but I have to admit this isn't her strongest body of work. I wouldn't say it's bad. Most people will describe it as mid, and that's exactly how I felt about it. It was like, meh, okay, she's done better. Enough said. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.